Welcome to the TALKESHI podcast. This week's episode is gonna be kind of different. Because I'm not really gonna talk about just things that happened this week, because it was a relatively boring week. Just kidding. But this week I really wanted to have a special guest on, and that is my friend William AKA Willgonzy I. Show your face. Hi. He's gonna be fucking around on this podcast today, so I hope you enjoy. For the audio listeners, he's just. I'm so sorry because y'all are not gonna enjoy his memes. But
sorry for the people that enjoy audio.
Y'all should. That's why y'all should go to freaking YouTube and watch it. But yeah, I did want to mention though that this week we hit a very special milestone. And that is 1K subscribers on YouTube.
Hey, and we get feeling great claps. Woo! So open a gift. So here's the JPEG.
I'll accept it for this moment.
Let's go, baby.
But yeah, we did hit
more.
Oh, so you just want me to have 1K subscribers and that's it? Like no more. Just 11K. Just
like
11K.
If you get a 1001, I will literally unfollow you just so you have like I will unsubscribe just so you have
99,999. Okay.
I will pay somebody, like I will pay people to constantly just match that until it's 1,000.
Fucking weirdo. But yeah, I guess I want to say thanks to all the subscribers and get all Miss Universe here. Right? No, I'm not gonna do that. But okay, so this week's podcast, of course, we have a very special guest, which by the time this podcast comes out, this man's gonna be 23. So happy birthday to him. We're recording on his birthday eve today, so that's pretty cool.
Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, for y'all that don't know, William, would you like to introduce yourself?
Man. Hi, what's up, y'all? So, my name's William Gonzalez. I take pictures sometimes, and they come out kind of nice. And I also do websites, and I'm starting to get into cybersecurity. I have a computer science degree and a math degree. And me gusta el body, como pueden ver, esto aquí atrás es el body.
Why are you being Miss Universe?
Soy un poeta de la Yupi sin estar en la Yupi. Me gusta arrope, me gustan las conversaciones deep. Vamos a hablar de aliens, vamos a hablar de jodiendo. Fuck that. Fuck all those motherfuckers.
You are literally Miss Universe right now. You're like, hola, me llamo William, tengo 23 años y estudié en la UP y me gusta jugar computadoras and whatever the fuck. Like, you sound like that right now.
And yeah, and I like talking shit. So when kiaraeshi said, let's talk shit, I said, yes, ma'am. Let's go.
Speaking of talking shit, I mean, like, we had one video on my channel that was you, like, it was us talking, so I was like, of course, like any fucking
dude, Jesus Christ,
any fucking random person, nowadays, just like no one, me and William, what if we do a podcast? Just like every fucking person.
Check, did people even say anything?
I think so. I think I had a few people, but like from that, we kind of wanted to, like, one of the goals this year was actually to do a podcast together. But
life really treated me like life just a mí me cogieron y me hicieron
the way you disappeared from the screen.
Anyways, para los que no entiendan el background del principio, que era hold up, give me one moment because I need to explain to them. So for some reason, here you go.
Explain it for our audio viewers.
It's basically it's un gift de Drake, but he's at a Toronto game, just like they're doing good, and he's like, yeah, baby, let's go. And
yeah, we all know the famous meme.
Yeah, like clapping. It's like a really famous fucking gif on Twitter. Anyway, obviamente aquí yo no puedo ver un gif, so no, I'm on JPEG, I can't clap. But the reason that I'm putting it on is because for some reason, every time I tweet something that's like reminiscing anything or
very deep, because Will tends to get fake deep.
Como que bien deep o intentando de como que me entiendes ser un poquito más allá de whatever the fuck. Kiara viene y me comenta, oh, you give me Drake vibes.
Because you're being a fucking sad boy. You're being a fucking sad boy on the TL.
Drake
No
was un
one likes
sad
seeing
boy.
that shit. No one likes seeing that shit. Attack someone. Be dramatic. That's what people like on Twitter.
Anyway, so I said, you know what? The next time you attack me with that claim de que this is a Drake vibe-ish tweet, pues yo te voy a dar reply con el Drake clap gif.
It's amazing.
I was gonna make a bot with Python, which is a programming language that y'all should learn. I should make tutorial videos.
Probably.
También la que digo, y'all should learn this.
You should tweet this. Yeah, thank you.
I was gonna make a bot que cada vez que ella tuiteara algo, it would automatically tweet her a fucking Drake collab. Yeah, and that's it. That's the background. Now y'all are all cut up. Anyway.
Fucking
el
weirdo
otro background
behavior.
que está aquí es una barra preciosa en Río Piedra donde se pasan todos los poetas de la UPI y todas las personas que se creen que son como que es vacilando, nadie se cree que es nada allí, pero es una barra muy bonita que se llama El Bori, yo nada, ponen salsa, bien nice. A Carlos le gustaría, Carlos es el papá de Kiara. También hay muchos periqueros en el puto baño, bien interesante, es un ambiente muy interesante. Los invito a todos a que se den la vuelta. Esto es promoción de gratis. Sé que no te están pagando, pero yo los amo tanto. Y están abiertos, están haciendo hamburgers, so support El Bori.
It's so funny. You're like, no te están pagando, pero I literally have a whole show for free, bro. Sponsors, anyone? Give me sponsors. Come on.
Por favor,
don't be
sponsors.
shy.
Anyway, so that's going to be the background, El Bori, because that's where I enjoy being. Y ahora mismo estoy en la Florida, en los Orlandos, y not very nice.
So, William es parte de la diáspora, I guess. But yeah, so to get to my original point before Will decided to explain his whereabouts and his private means with me, quería decir que Will and I were gonna make a podcast together, but of course, like circumstances and whatever, coronavirus, me just wanting to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do a podcast, y qué sé yo. So yeah, that's where we're at now, but I feel like we would have done like a pretty good podcast every week. Would have been really funny.
Who knows, man? Everybody's making damn podcasts. I don't understand why people are shaming others for making podcasts.
It's fun. It's like, isn't it basically a sort of personal journalism?
No, I wouldn't say personal journalism.
I know.
I would say it's like
yeah.
I feel that like it's more of sharing conversations. It's more of like como que sharing, like seeing, hey, this person has this to say. Okay, cool. Yeah. And how you have discussion, and some discussions are interesting, and some are not. ¿Me entiendes?
Oh,
so it's pretty much now the problem is seeing cuáles son los podcasts que are worth it and which ones aren't and which ones need to improve.
Yeah, and I mean, not that I hate, but like it's really interesting to see how my podcast, like the first podcast for the first episode, was kind of me explaining what I'm gonna do on this show, even though I did say it was gonna be pretty varied or whatever, but I did kind of start with like, you know, kind of my philosophy on content, on like what's cringy, what's problematic, whatever. And yeah, that's what I've been doing on this podcast. It's kind of based on media, I guess. Like I've been discussing media mainly, like how we portray things. What's one of our favorite subjects, cancel culture. Like we've talked about that so much on my channel. I think I've talked about like, I think in general that's what my podcast is. It's kind of just like talking about media, and I think, is that my niche? I think I found my niche. Talking about media and whatever. Pero
local
and
media being racist.
Which is why, like, when you brought up the podcast thing, I was gonna say that like there are podcasts that are really good and actually have like to me the most important part is like the message of every podcast. Like I don't like the reason it's funny to just be like, oh, everyone's doing a podcast is because people kind of do want to make a podcast where they just talk about their friends, talk with their friends and just like chill around having conversations that kind of no one wants to listen to be completely honest. I feel like podcasts are really interesting and kind of good when they're about certain things, you know.
Well, I mean, obviously, but like I feel good.
It's fun to listen.
Entertainment factor.
yeah, it's fun to listen to like certain conversations when the people are interesting, but if it's just like, your buddies are having a conversation that you'd probably have at the bar or something, unless that conversation actually like, you know, I don't know, aporta algo, I feel like, yeah.
O no se lo va a aportar, porque no es cuestión de aportar, ¿me entiendes? Sí puedes aportar, pero es cuestión de
Yeah.
ser, like, having some sort of entertainment value and having some sort of, what am I gaining from spending my next 30 minutes with this thing? You feel me? Like,
Claro.
that's why a lot of people, like, I don't know, that's why you watch a lot of podcasts. That's why I watch a
Claro.
bunch of podcasts where you say, okay, why am I going to spend these next 50 minutes with these four dudes that are talking nonsense, or I could just watch
Obviously.
astrophysicist or something. Like you'll hear it and you'll stay on it.
Yeah, so obviously it depends, like, when I say four buddies or whatever having a podcast, I don't mean just like, because that's the thing, like, if those four buddies are interesting and no aportan a nada, but they're interesting and they, like, actually have pretty cool conversations or whatever. O sea, my favorite podcasts are pretty much like TMG, H3H3, which is like, they do have pretty good guests on, like Post Malone, Logic, all these people.
But they have a lot of they're horrible to their guests. Like
It's pretty unprofessional as well. It's like, I mean, hello, this podcast isn't really that professional. It's not professional at all. But
no, pero
I think I do provide, like,
ellos están en un nivel bastante alto y es bien extraño ver how much but I wonder how much Ethan like interrupts his guests. Like, for example, when they had Jake Paul on, like I wanted to hear what he had to say. Like we were there for him, And he would just keep interrupting and interrupting and interrupting, and I fucking stopped watching it. I stopped watching that show.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, like, there is that entertainment factor, of course, like, not every podcast has to be like for example, I've seen a lot of true crime podcasts or podcasts about certain topics. Those are pretty interesting if you're into those topics, but it's like, if all you do is kind of like read from something or just like, I don't know. I feel like there does have to be that funny.
I also
Or
feel that
just
there's
plain
not a lot of people
interesting
that
factor.
consume because so I feel like a lot of people again, I watch a lot of Joe Rogan. I'm sorry. I feel okay, that's the top.
It is the top podcast in the world, I think, to be honest.
Feel me? I would rather watch una entrevista say that Jimmy Fallon had Bruno Mars on, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be like a really short, condensed, dumbed down conversation because it has to be funny and it has to be quirky and it has to be like, entiendes? Because that's what like what we like los canales esto like ABC, MSNBC, all these channels are built upon. Que estas cosas sean como que bien easy to market, easy to watch, easy to digest. But when you hop on, like the otro día estaba I think it's Bill Mayer, who is he has like a show on HBO. Anyway, el punto es que le estaba diciendo que es como que when like a 3-hour podcast, not a lot of people sit down, commit 3 hours to listen to a damn 3-hour podcast. Pero if it's interesting enough and it's compelling enough, people will.
So, your favorite topic, huh? You want to get to that? You want to get to this? You want to get to nitty gritty? So, Weir's favorite subject is cancel culture. Not his favorite subject, but we tend to talk about it a lot. It's a very interesting phenomenon to see on the internet. So of course we have a lot of opinions on it, and I have so many opinions on it to the point that I don't know if I'll make it this summer or like maybe soon I'll make like a whole video on it because I have so many issues with it. So I don't want to get too deep on this episode about it, but I'm gonna talk about it with Will because this is one of our favorite subjects. So like,
subject.
He laughs, but he loves
subject.
it.
I just feel okay. There's a lot of good that can be done with it, and a lot of bad. I'm looking at it.
Yeah. I'm looking objectively.
I'm looking objectively. I just feel okay. It's just used like it's been lately with with these volatile times that we're living in. I feel que se está usando de una manera bien destructiva para algunas personas. Hay personas que obviamente, how do I structure this? How do I organize this? Okay, so the way that I tell it to everybody is like there's two things mainly.
La primera es what like your like the whole self-righteousness like they impose like imponiendo tu sentido de justicia or whatever. Y dos, el efecto real que tiene o las consecuencias de eso. Y I feel que people just, it's so easy to say anything in the internet. There's zero accountability until shit hits the fan. And people start, esto no se puede, esto, porque cuando, por ejemplo, so I recently posted this thread, right? And it was because of this particular situation that I don't want to even talk about on here. You know what I'm talking about, though. But to give y'all a little bit of context, it's more of a somebody fucked up. It wasn't even like a big fuck up, like not a rapist, not un acosador, no, ¿me entiendes? Como que una persona que, you know, very well intentioned, was doing a very uneducated thing. Y no es el trabajo de nosotros ser maestros y maestras, pero we could have, you know, been like shared some information with this person that could have helped, could help him not do this mistake again. And we went hard, like y'all went hard. Y'all went really hard on this person, like y'all went, or you know, esta persona pues básicamente se quería suicidar because of the like anxiety and the hate and the amount of shit that she got, or you know. Y nada, básicamente
Of course, like, yeah.
fair. If somebody is, say that I'm fucking hell, like say that you're a programmer, a new programmer, okay? I always say I'm on variables. We write them in a certain way. Say that you didn't write them in that certain way, and I made you feel like shit for it. How would you even, ¿me entiendes? Like you didn't even know that. You didn't know that. This is new to you. My job as a human being is to try and that's not my job, but I feel que the duty of somebody that has any type of knowledge and ves un vaso que está vacío, pues puñeta, pues vamos a tratar de llenarlo también para que todos estemos iguales, ¿me entiendes? Y siento que eso no es lo que hicieron fue pues atacar y
Yeah,
no el
it's just
ataque.
so easy to do as well. It's just so easy to kind of just see something wrong and just kind of get angry at it and just, because even I've been guilty of this, but like I've learned this thing, like, look at, I'm going to teach you right now. See what I just did there? I minded my business. I really, like, why do I say that? Obviously, it's a corny ass joke. But why do I say that? Because, like, I feel like people get way too deep into shit, attacking, and just kind of saying, like what you said, like the self-righteousness, and kind of focusing on certain things that we don't really, I don't know. It's just, it's so, I feel, Mina, one of my issues is more like, okay, you can't just let people say willy-nilly things. I personally don't feel like
I'm saying don't call out people.
yeah, like what I'm trying to say is that the way to do it, of course, I feel like the best way is kind of to educate, but at the same time, if you can tell that one person is just not going to be educated and they're just going to keep on doing whatever, I feel like the best thing to do is kind of just let that person slip off into oblivion, or at least, I don't know, like that's just my take on it, or at least it's a very complicated subject, and of course I'm just saying that, like, I'm agreeing with what you said about the self-righteousness and whatever. It's kind of just stupid to feel more entitled or better to talk shit about something, not call out or hold accountable. Those are very different things. And when you said that, like, oh, we should use cancel culture for good things, well, I feel like holding someone accountable and educating them are those good things. But if you just kind of want to...
There's a fine, okay, but wait, there's a fine line though. There's
Yeah.
a fine line between like that, because when you hold somebody accountable, like you're basically hasta te estás poniendo en este pedestal de como que I am the one that I'm gonna call you out for this and this and that. So
That
como
depends.
dices tú también, y como dices también. Yo lo que digo es que hay que saber cómo aplicar la fuerza, porque hay gente que, okay, say you do something fucked up, right? I spot it. No es que yo tenga pauta, pero I do have 2,000, like anything that I do is going to be posted on 2,000 people's timelines, ¿me entiende? So 2,000 people is enough. Imagine, I think that 20 people yelling at me is like a fucking terrifying experience. Imagine 2,000 people like yelling at you. And not even that, just the active users at that time. Solo eso, like I told you yesterday, we're algorithmically connected. So whatever people retweet, that's, you're putting it on, say that you have 3,000 followers. So my 2,000 followers plus your 5,000 followers, that's almost, what? Like 7,000 followers, you feel me? And then, you feel me? Like it's a lot of people. Like a lot of people see this shit. And eso es lo que la gente no se da cuenta. Porque mira, si yo cada vez que pongo algo, yo pienso, okay, is this something that I want all these people to see? Because that's what we do. We subconsciously forget, pero we share and voice as ourselves como personas. Okay? Because people be like, don't take Twitter seriously. It is very serious. You're making statements as you, as yourself. You're literally talking, como te dije ayer, to like thousands of people. And you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what this and this and that. You're not being like, be apologetic to these wild motherfuckers. No. It's just that I feel that a lot of people don't get enough of the facts. Like you told me yesterday, the situation which I was not aware of because I am not well within, like versed within that sector. James Charles and the other person, the like how X person said that he was this like rapist and this like just like turning like preying on kids that weren't gay, turning them into that into and like just like just fucked up shit like that. It wasn't even true. And then you have all these people like screaming at him. But that happens all the time, but to a smaller scale. Even if it's 20 people, that's enough to fuck you up because it's 20 people that are yelling at you, So it's como que we're not really aware of everything, of all the facts. We just want to have a voice and just point, like be like, oh, you're this, and label, que tú lo dijiste ayer, just like label people. And not only we do this just for the right, we do it, the reason is for the social justice and whatever. But there's also a little bit of validation here. There's a little bit of internet point culture kind of thing in here.
Yeah, I mean,
than just
there's definitely people that kind of like, for example, like not to be that kind of person, but like especially white people kind of be like, if they call out something racist or even like I was gonna say equivocally, is that a word? Equivocadamente. If they do that, sometimes they are kind of like, look at me, I'm talking about things that are bad and racist. So my black friends will valid, because like you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Then you're attacking someone for the wrong reasons, and you're really like, and especially that's why sometimes I have an issue with how it's handled publicly, because it's the validation point that you brought out, that it's kind of like you talk about it, you talk it up. That's another thing, and like I'll get to that, but like especially if like I call someone out publicly, it's not that I am doing it for the validation, but there is definitely a difference between like me calling someone out publicly and but people, regardless of like what you want the response to be, if you post something publicly, people will agree with you or be influenced by you, or as opposed to if you do it privately, you're kind of doing it more like one-to-one person, like, hey, like, I don't think you should do that, or I don't think you should, and which is why it annoys me when people kind of like grab onto a pedestal of like, maybe you shouldn't be so bad or racist.
This gives me a right to fuck you up and insult you, ¿me entiendes? Pero también, por ejemplo, y esto lo voy a mencionar, I'm just not going to say names. The whole Bubbles deal.
Yeah.
Like, esa fue una situación, y again, she's a great photographer, all the shits. Fue una situación en la cual, no cancel culture, pero calling her out on it was good because it made her realize,
Claro.
maybe I'm not Da Vinci, you know, maybe I'm not the creator of this concept. And she learned, and period. And now people have moved on. Pero entonces, había gente que que era como que, that didn't even know her, apparently, that would just like, es que ella es así, es que ella toca, ¿me entiendes? Que es
Yeah, it's
como
the
que,
objective.
it's like, no, not only being objective, que es como hay agendas detrás de la gente ve people that are successful on social media, people think that followers is success, people think that getting all this praise for being good looking or talented, or I think that like people crave that, like, no me digas que you don't like when people tell you, ay, cabrón, que tu contenido está cabrón. Because you do. I love when people tell me, damn, tu foto es tan cabrona, aunque yo ni mismo me lo creo, cabrón, pero está cool que people believe that it's good, you know? Especially when it comes to like cosmetic validation, como que people are like, puñeta, esta cabrona, todo el mundo le dice que está buena y a mí no me dice, ¿me entiendes?
Yeah.
Desarrolla este tipo de hatred towards these people, como que, this is your fave, este es el fave de ustedes, como que,
Yeah.
¿me entiendes? Cuando yo veo esas cosas, ahí yo me quedo, wow, okay, so like, this has been in the back of your head for a minute. You've been waiting for something like this to happen, ¿me entiendes?
It is very much more about like the person, not, well, if they're attacking, but it's more about the person calling out than the actual situation. Like, you don't really care that this person, because most of the time, for example, that situation you brought up, that's not even most of these people's business. Like, most of these people, if they bring something up, it's kind of just like, oh, look at this person, like, instead of,
Y por ejemplo, la situación
which, hey, like, I'm gonna say that I kind of, not that I attacked this person, but I did kind of bring up, like, damn, you see what happens when you kind of act a certain, like, I said that, of course, I didn't attack anyone, but I did bring it up, because it's like, see when you do clownery, like, that's kind of what I said.
somos culpables de esto, todos somos culpables porque todos hemos participado de una manera. Yo no soy un santo, yo de alguna manera u otra, maybe dándole like a un tweet, maybe dándole, porque
Yeah.
eso es otro, ¿me entiendes? Twitter tiene diferentes maneras de tú comunicar the way that you want to communicate. La situación que te dije sobre, ¿verdad? La muchacha que lo de las fotos de esto, pues ella como quien dice, estaba como que tirándole la mala a otra muchacha por haber hecho algo igual. Y si tú veías, la mayoría de las personas no estaban ni diciendo como que defendiendo a la muchacha, era tirándole a la muchacha que claimed que hizo el concepto, ¿me entiendes?
Yeah.
Que no fue ni como que para defender a esta muchacha, fue para tirarle la mala.
Yeah.
¿Me entiendes? Que no fue que me sigue, que las intenciones eran otras.
Of
y
course,
entiendo
yeah.
que pues que ella en ese momento se merecía que la aplaudieran y que de esto, pero hay maneras de tú express hay maneras de calling out a otras personas. Pero it is what it is.
That's how the internet crumbles. So
I guess some positive things that we could do to improve is, número uno, get all the fucking facts. Número dos, stop being so goddamn reactive. Número tres, look at yourself first and be like, should I attack this person? Should I consider that this person, ¿verdad? Dependiendo de la situación, todas las situaciones son ajenas. But should I consider that this person might be deranged and might be going through it?
It's like, I want to say that it's especially if like something is, I was gonna say verbal, kind of like, what I mean is like written or things people say, because people say fucked up shit, of course, not gonna deny that, but there's also uneducated opinions, and that's, I feel like, the biggest part that people focus on. Like, someone said something and we're all going to misinterpret it and we're all going to react to it. Because there are situations where, like, for example, just like sexual assault, violence in general, that's pretty inexcusable, and that we can all agree. But just that, I guess, like, the most important thing, and we discussed this on like Debbie's episode, but I want to say it again, like just education, really important. Be open to listen to people's experiences and thoughts, because it's like if I'm coming to you real nice, like, hey, what you said was sexist, and you come at me like, fuck off, bitch, then I'm gonna fucking bully you. And I'm, okay, not bully you, but I'm just gonna be like, okay, fine, you want to take that route? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if someone's like, oh, well, like, you know, like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't mean it that way, of course, I'll be like, okay, yeah, and then just kind of mind my own business and be like, get educated, bitch. And just mind my own business. See how easy it was to just kind of mind my own business? Like, call someone out, but then just
Bien cabrón.
keep on walking? Stop it. But anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty much the note we want to end on today.
That's that on that. That's that on that.
I hope that, like, I hope. Stop it. I hope Will and I can make another episode where we talk more in depth about, like.
Photography.
It'd be really nice if Will was on for, like, certain. It'd be really nice if we had Will on for, like, certain topics. I don't know. I'll see what those topics are. Don't talk about technology much, because I barely know how to deal with TikTok. Watch my name with TikTok.
Es que TikTok tiene tantas cosas que you can do so much with it que can be very overwhelming.
It's a
But
great
you got this.
platform. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope Will joins us more on the podcast. Why?
'Cause why not?
Why are you doing this?
What's the problem?
You cam girl. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoy, and hope Will joins us again at some other time to discuss really stupid shit. Happy birthday, Will, because it's coming out on your birthday.
Woo!
And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see y'all next week. I hope there's interesting.
Let's go.
I hope there's interesting things to talk about next week. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.